My long-term vision for the development of the project and how it's going to impact food plastic packaging is we are going to provide to the general public, to different stakeholders like the manufacturers of novel materials, to food producers, to retailers, a series of solutions and strategies that are covering the food packaging value chain on different ways. So we do not have a specific target or a specific technical development that is going to help the food packaging value chain be more circular, but rather we are tackling each and every one of the steps of the food packaging value chain, covering from raw materials to the manufacturing, to logistics, and also the end of life, to provide a series of solutions so different users, different industrial stakeholders can make an informed decision on how to modify their processes, how to modify their own products in order to make food packaging more sustainable. For that, we have a series of work packages that are aligned with the different process steps and different steps of the value chain in order to make the food packaging, and we want to implement these new developments onto a series of strategies, public strategies that are submitted and are available for everyone at the end of the project and tested with our ecosystem digital twin, which is a novel software that we are developing in order to assess what is the economic, environmental, and also energetic impact on these different solutions. So at the end of the day, end users, companies can make an educated guess and informed decision. I would say that the main challenges that we have faced are focusing first on involving all different actors across the food packaging value chain, because we are a consortium. The project consortium has different points of view. Some entities are more focused on research and development, other entities are focused on the end of life processes. Everyone has different points of view, different views, and integrating all of that in a single message can be difficult, as well as integrating the points of view of other actors that are not participating in the consortium, but that they have something to say. There are a lot of small companies across Europe which have their voice and their opinion on how legislation is impacting them, impacting their processes, and how they can be more competitive in the market. So we are conducting a series of bilateral meetings with them to gather their points of view into a series of reports, and then also analyze it for the preparation of our own strategies to make food packaging more sustainable. Well, for the present moment, we are on the month 18 of the project, so we are still on the development of some of the technical innovations and also some of the tasks and activities. I would say our main milestones have been centered around defining what is the scope of our activities beyond the food packaging or inside the food packaging value chain regarding the new raw materials, novel circular model, how to make business, how to companies can engage with these kind of strategies, and also assessing the main impacts that plastic packaging has on the environment, specifically for micro and nanoplastics, which is a hot topic right now. We have prepared a series of scientific publications that are already online and available to the public regarding this. This is the main milestones we have achieved so far. In the coming months, as part of our development of the digital twin, we are working towards having a beta version of our software that we intend to test in the next year, and some also there is a milestone that is linked to the preparation of a series of standards and regulation feedbacks for specific regulations from the European Commission, such as the Packaging and Packaging Waste Directive. so we can provide more direct feedback to the Commission services on how to make packaging more sustainable. Okay, so regarding the interdisciplinary, as MAGNO is a research project that has a very diverse consortium, I would say that we have been working since the beginning of the project through a series of collaborative meetings and a collaborative effort where not only partners are working on their specific field, but rather that we have partners working on the same topic with different points of view. For example, when we are approaching the development of novel materials, novel formulations based on bio-based packaging, we are not only considering the production processes, but also the environmental impact that they have. So in that way, I think we are fostering collaboration with actors that may have different points of view, different kinds of expertise in the preparation of our results. And we are also in the process of preparing a series of workshops across the project, across the different activities of the project, and they are not tied to a single partner, but rather there are workshops that are prepared collaboratively. So artificial intelligence, it's a very wide, a very broad topic. There are one specific technology innovation that we are doing within the project is a language model that is helping us to cover any potential data gaps that we have when preparing the database and information needed to perform these simulations. And we are taking into account the latest developments on language model, using small language model instead of large language models, what is called LLM, such as, for example, one of the more commercial ones I could say is ChatGPT. In that regard, we are developing our own technologies in order to have an alternative option that is not tied to a single company, but rather that we can exploit ourselves. On the other hand, neural networks and other machine learning approaches are being used as a support for modeling across the industry. Food packaging is one of them. In our case, we are not using directly machine learning algorithms because our modeling activities use physical models, so we can ensure that the data that we are using and we are obtaining from the results, it's verified, can be validated. That is a very good question. I would say that as not all countries, not all entities, not all actors have the same purchasing power, the same resources, the same, for example, recycling facilities in different countries, we, as a result of the project, intend to provide a series of strategies and a software that can be used to replicate different scenarios. So different stakeholders in different countries, for example, if I imagine a packaging value chain, we have the packaging being produced in Spain, then it's shipped to France, and then it's sold in Germany. We have three countries that may have different regulatory frameworks, different facilities for recycling packaging. And what we want to do is provide this set of strategies on what can be done, and also the ecosystem digital twin as a tool to test these strategies and include information for specific countries so the results can be applied directly. Regarding the industrial community, we want to provide small and medium companies, SMEs, small and medium enterprises, with the usage of this ecosystem digital twin for their own use, so they can start implementing, testing, analyzing different strategies For the scientific community, we want to provide some of the results, some of these strategies in a series of reports that we have already done with some of the publications. So Horizon Europe is focused around open science, and as part of our activities and our results, we are publishing everything on open access. So not only the research community, but also the general public can access these scientific breakthroughs and these scientific results. I would say this is a very complex, the food packaging value chain is a very complex environment. We have different actors at hand working with different solutions, but I see the future as making it more sustainable in small ways. Not everyone is going to be able to change their production processes entirely or to introduce the recycling schemes, changing how their country works, but small steps can have a big impact. And I think implementing as many changes as possible within their own environments, their own value chains, can have a big impact.